Hello. Right, transcript is working. Check that we have recording. Yeah.
So
we'll just wait a few more minutes and then for everyone to come.
I'm making a presentation about my aspirations, I can say. I am inspired by stars, space, but at the same time, all of these began with using natural materials such as soil, sand, or other tissues. So I look at other artists' works, then I began to make it. So I make a quick presentations of them. So, okay. It's about the concept of nature. It's a relationship with end of Second World War, because after the Second World War, the population, how you call it, the population is changing. So he rejects art, traditional way of art. So he began to use natural materials in art. They want to feel something on canvas. That's why they are using natural materials. So I talk about Kiefer and Tapies paintings because they are all similar paintings, but they are making in different ways. And this is one of the, everybody knows Anselm Kiefer.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So it's okay. So he's making about Holocaust. So he's using clash, ashes, straw on paintings, but these are very big paintings. You know already that. So I give some examples of that. It's unborn composition. I really like that. This composition is amazing. So I will continue. It's a book or 38 page of Anselm Kiefer. It speaks about unborn children. And he put some rocks and
yeah. Lucky. Ron, I've got the ball. Ron, I've got it here.
So it's a watercolor works of Anselm Kiefer. I put other things for seeing different way of making. So he made this on watercolor. I saw that yesterday is the first time. And this is Memento Mori, normally after Van Gogh, I suppose, because I know that Van Gogh make these sunflowers for Gauguin rooms. It's a Memento Mori, remember you will die. And Van Gogh, Gauguin hate this painting. I know that. So I saw the same painting on Anselm Kiefer. He made the same Memento Mori. And this is a big, very big painting called collage. You can see in here on paper the part of the body, people who died. On pink, he put there on red, yellow. These are part of the body on everywhere. And he will go to space like flowers after. And this is Order of Angel. You make it with clouds. And he is using, here is straw. And these are ropes he used as a tool making on the city. And it's again about Holocaust. It's written Lilith in here. So I examined this painting, how he made the composition ways. You will see on, I made it on Photoshop. He drew on the mountains there, after trees, he put after clouds, and he put here straws and sand. So I was inspired by Antoni Tapies because he's using the same materials as an art. He's a Spanish, you know all about Antoni Tapies. I suppose he's a sculptor. So he made this on paper. I think he used their plaster. I tried to use it, but I couldn't make it on canvas. So it's a gate with wood paintings. And the last piece of him. So I read books, hundreds of books, but about Carlo Rovelli's works, because he's working about time and space. The wonderful thing is he's talking about relativity or other thermodynamics in his works, but all these works couldn't sense of time without our brain. He says our brain is very important to feel the time. So I look at Edwin Powell Hubble works. So I paint many times nebulas, and he's the first one. He classified nebulas, the star homes, and he's also find the universe is expanding, but he couldn't get Nobel Prize for this. So it's a Hubble Telescope, because I am looking all the time Hubble Telescope images and change for me. So before Hubble Telescope, we are seeing the stars like that, infrared. After, but it's visible like that with Hubble Telescope. So I was researching about fractals. So I am using organic forms in my paintings as well. So I was thinking about how nature is working. And I find Mandelbrot. He's a mathematician, and he says the nature is working, is copying themselves, but all part is copying, but not the same, is similar, and million times, and you can see 1 tree after, but it's copying small parts, in million times, and you can see after a big tree. And with ice, the similar things we can talk about. All ices is not the same. So it's a million times. It could have changed million times. Maybe one same. How call it? Sorry, I forgot. Once we can saw the same pattern. So I put here, it's the ice pattern. You can see it's copying themselves a million times. And this is, sorry about that. This is a water pattern on fractals. So here, these are my paintings. I try to make like a pixel, the small patterns, and get something bigger at the end. And I use linen ropes. I really like linen ropes because I can give any forms with glue, transparent glue. It's like sculpture I am making on painting or on boxes, or I can work as a sculpture as well with this linen ropes. So you see already that. Generally on canvas, I'm using a gesso. I began with gesso. On Renaissance, the painters had used animal skin glue, but now we are using gesso. After I put a background color, then I made a small sketches about my composition. So after my composition, I look at how I can place linen ropes or other tissues, cotton. This is a cotton, or the electrical. I forgot how to call them. Electrical stuffs. So I put with transparent glue and I began to paint on them. Wow. And this is the one of the painting was, it's not finished yet, but it is about Mars and water. And this is details. And this is a cotton, I use it. This is soil I put on canvas. And I make a grisaille for making look like real, because it's very changing if you are making grisaille. Grisaille means is little small thin oil color you put in several times. But I put already light and shade areas on canvas. After with color, I put little, and he began more 3D, I can say. And these are cotton tissues. I use. I make some experimentations for different colors. I begin to paint on box. Yesterday I said it. So this is the universe in a drawer, and you can put them all things you want, memorial things, ancient things, buttons, photographs. Near that, I hope to make an exhibition with that. And this is also linen ropes that I'm using generally. This is the box that I find in the city, and I put some, I try to look like nebula in the box. And this is very big box. And I try to make a black hole in it, but I have to make more. So these are my paintings from 2019 for my exhibitions to Lascaux. Image is here. to stars. And these are galaxies. And I try to make space movements with tissue, but it's the cultural tissue in Turkey. And linen ropes again. I use these ropes because they are very durable. And one of the ancient plants. So this was the one of the shape in Lascaux walls. I take this shape, and they put here fingerprints at several times. So I put soil, whereas fingerprints, and I use to make a part of the universe in that painting. I think about it's like a window for me. And this is a Pallades. Yesterday we talked about it on Slack. I made it with linen ropes again. And these are planets. I made 3 different boxes with I use sand, linen ropes, or soil linen ropes again. It's atmosphere of the planets, high atmosphere to low. So, and these are only my paintings. This is not boxes. I paint in different way. It's on soil. Uranus, Neptune is linen ropes, and Mars is. I went to Egypt in several years ago, so I take some sand from Egypt, and I use this sand is orange or reddish sand, so I use for making Mars. So this is a Uranus atmosphere again, and I make with sand, but I like making the same thing, things, but trying different ways. And that was the sun for me. And this is Earth from BC, the North Pole. And it was Neptune again. Sorry. This is the moon. I work out with soil and linen ropes. I'm working again. It will be better with time. So these are nebulas, different nebulas. This is helix nebulas. And this is the Saturn storm. And he took a hexagon storm. Yes, it's 6 corner he has, so he called them hexagon storm. And these are nebula. Well, I am inspired by Hubble Telescope again, Orion Nebula, and Eagle Nebula. But these are changing with time. It's like an archive. It's not like that now. It's very changing and he's dying. So that was the DNA. I made it like a bones on linen ropes, and I color it after. And this is the soil I make. And thank you. That's all. If you have any questions to ask, I made like that.
Wow. That was brilliant. Big round of applause, I think. Yeah.
It was short. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's fine. Yeah, really interesting. Yeah, Caro has a question.
Can you just put up the planets in a box one that you just whiz past that, and I like that a lot. And so could you show it again, please?
Yes. Wait a moment.
I've got a couple of questions. One of it was like when you were doing the water, your point about water. Do you mind if I just take a photo for myself? I'm not going to.
Yes, there's no problem. You can make it. There is no problem.
Thank you. By the way, I love the title Universe in a Drawer. Have you ever thought about that, your own special universe being put in a drawer, if you see what I mean? I'm thinking about your little boy, but anyway.
I try to make my universe myself, but it doesn't work too much. But I am writing small stories about the universe. I said it's for my child, but it's very how to call it? It's very I remember in French. Sorry about that. It's very hard, psychologically hard for my child. So I am just written, and sometimes I try to make paintings on them. But I don't make books or other things. Just writing some small stories, 1 paper, 2 paper, something like that.
Can you say more about how you made these, please? Did you get a box and move your linen around?
Sunumdayım. Sorry about that. Ama şu anda sunumdayım. Sorry. Can you talk about?
I wanted to know about how did you, can you say more about how you made those ones in a box? So did you have the box with a hole in it and shove stuff through the hole, or did you make the open box? And
I make myself boxes. I put a wood.
Yeah.
There are the box.
Yeah.
And I put another wood just on the top. And the wood was a circle, empty circle. So I put on canvas, interior the box, and exterior the box. I try to make with glue my natural materials, and I begin to paint on them.
So to get the, I'm going to keep talking to you, and you can either hear or not hear, if you see what I mean. So the actual location of the rope, the linen rope and stuff, did you decide how that was going to be, or did you just move that with your paintbrush?
No, I decided because I look at atmosphere, the Mercury, Uranus, and Saturn on my books. So I decided how to move it, and I make it.
And then do you spray glue it, or do you have glue and shove it on the glue, if you see what I mean? That's not a very technical way of explaining it, but you know what I mean. It's
a transparent glue, so I just make the shape with that materials. So then I'm painting with shadows and lights, and I try to make it real.
Have you ever thought about putting any of your paintings out in the rain? Because you talked about water, and one way of getting the natural water is to put them out in the rain, you know?
I don't know in the rain how it will come in, but I never thought about that.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Brilliant. Has anybody else got any questions?
A quick one. I really love your actual boxes where you've used the wooden box, because that depth you have is fantastic, because I know you're working with those like really deep space objects like the nebulas. How do you display those? Have you put those in exhibitions and stuff? The deep boxes?
I put that. I began to exhibit in 2016 with nebulas. After I made with planets, and I'm making exhibitions about space. But sometimes it is changing because the group exhibitions has always different names, different themes for making. So it's if I have a solo exhibitions, I'm making about space. If I have a group exhibitions, it can be a different themes.
Yeah, and you put those wooden boxes, those sculptures, you put those in exhibitions?
Yes. I put on wall one time, and I can put on table too.
Cool. I'd love to see those one day. They look really amazing.
Thank you.
The work is absolutely amazing, Sila. I'm just blown away. So good. I love it. It's just so different as well. And to see the presentation at the beginning of, I didn't know those artists either. that you were talking about at the beginning. That's been really, really interesting presentation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Very
It's fascinating. Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, your work's exquisite.
Mm. Yeah, the colours are fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, I try so many times for these colors, like I say.
Yeah.
And I know one restaurateur, he makes paintings after the artist die. So I put so much colors in it. For making orange, I put blue ones in just as a layer I use. Sometimes 5th layers, 6 layers. And the restaurateur told me, I can't make it if you die.
That's what makes them so unique and amazing, though, isn't it? That's so different, and part of your energy in it like that is fantastic. I really love the one as well with the little drawing of like looks like a cave drawing of someone with a spear. Was it called Shadows, maybe, or something like that?
Shadows.
Maybe that's
Catching shadows.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean.
Do you ever use pigments, natural pigments?
I try to use natural pigments, but the problem is in my country, natural pigments are very expensive. So I have a few natural pigments, but it's very expensive, so I don't try to use all of the time, but sometimes I'm using, but generally I try to use ready ones.
Right.
I've worked with a girl who does these. I'll take my background off, but I know that Pete's going to do something tomorrow. Joe's husband's going to do a talk tomorrow on pigments, but I'll show you this as well. This is all done. Yeah, that's all done with natural pigments that the girl is called Francesca Owen. I'll give a link to her, and she digs all the pigments herself because she can't afford to buy paint or anything like that. But she makes these huge paintings with pigments that she digs out of the mining areas of Cornwall.
Right.
And, nice.
We did a workshop with her, and she just uses like a pestle and mortar that you would use for making herbs and black pepper, and she mixes it with linseed oil or with tempura, which is the is it tempura? No,
it's egg.
Tempura.
Is it called tempura? Yeah.
But it takes many times. It's very difficult to make it.
Yeah. It's I really hurt my arm doing the workshop, and
I can imagine that.
Yeah. But she's got a couple of children. She said, I need to get stuff materials and do what I can to kind of, because I've got to take care of my children. I can't afford to spend whack loads of money on paint. So she said, I started this process, and she goes out and gets big bags of stuff from the land, But I think Pete's doing a talk on stuff that he does, similar things, rolling pastels. So, but I don't know. Yeah. But I don't know. You find maybe different soils that you work with there, don't you?
Yeah. I look at, I buy from, how you call it, in market soils. And I use that because in my country, all the soils, it's not like England, it's not rainy. So all is dry in my country. I can't get proper soil outside. So I just buy from market soil and I use them.
Right. By the way, I'm a great fan of Tapies and Kiefer.
Yeah, me too.
A fantastic artist.
Celia, can you say more about your shooting man, if you see what I mean? I've got a weird thing on my computer, so I've got a double up of the thing. I can remember the image there. That example. So as soon as I saw that, I was really thinking about the hunter in Orion who's chasing the seven sisters was what I was thinking when I saw that immediately. That's what popped into my head. But
yeah, it's not seven sisters, it's universe, because it's a figure from Lascaux. So I use like now we are seeing with Hubble Nebula other galaxies, other stars. So human is the first. They were catching animals, and now we are catching stars. I symbolize like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Sila, you had a slide with some experimental work where you were just sort of testing out colors. It was really delicate and beautiful. Could you go back to it?
Thank you. Yeah. Tell me stop, please.
I think maybe it was the tissue or the fabric that was dyed in different colors. Is what you meant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is absolutely stunning. Beautiful.
Thank you. I made some experimentations, but sometimes it fits on canvas. Sometimes it doesn't fit. I look after, but these are a special painting for tissue I used here.
Yeah, because it looks like textiles from where I'm sitting. It looks like beautiful kind of natural dyed textiles. It's really lovely. Your work's gorgeous. Yep. Thanks very much. I really enjoyed seeing it.
Thanks. I think same to you all.
Brilliant. So any more questions from anyone, or?
What are you going to do next? Tell us where you're going. What's your plans and what's your dream? Where you're definitely going to go next and where you just secretly really like to go next?
Oh, I'm working on Mars, and I think I have to do more fractal stuff with stars, or like we talk about blur things, because I read somewhere the stars we are seeing, it's far from us, is we are seeing on blur after we can see clearly. So I try to catch that on painting on canvas. So I think I made some stuff about that, but it doesn't work as I am dreaming. So I will make on that more and more.
Thank you. Thank you. You just mean it doesn't work yet. You just mean it doesn't work yet. You're going to get there.
Yes. I have to work more and more.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Brilliant. Well done, Sila.
Thank you, Rose.
And Tina's got a presentation next. I didn't know if you wanted to all have a little break and a cup of tea and wait till 11, or we can go straight on. It might be best to wait, I guess, in case other people can join.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other people might have put it in the timetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always stay and chat, but
yeah, stay and chat.
Because chatting is fun. I'm so envious, Sila, of your texture, because I work really flat and I can't envision texture. I find 3 dimensions really challenging. And so when I see your work with all that amazing texture, I'm just so jealous. I just envy you.
No, it's difficult for me too, because I try to change it more, make 3D things, but it doesn't work all the time. So it's just one of my reading about Kiefer. Kiefer says we don't know it will work on canvas or not, so we try to push it all the time. He's using emulsions, but I don't know how he will make it, because it's very difficult on canvas.
I put in the chat for you because you were talking about, I don't remember if it was Kiefer or the other one who uses plaster.
Tapies.
I used to use golden acrylics, do a molding paste. And it's a bit like, paste. Yeah, and it's really lightweight, so you can put it on really heavy. It might be worth trying.
But the problem is, in 2010, I was at University of Wolverhampton. So in in UK, I can't find molding paste. I bought it and I try on canvas, but in Turkey there is no molding paste.
Oh yeah. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, because I immediately thought, oh, I bet you'd like that. But I guess it's what brands you can get over there.
Celia, can you put back up? There's one of the Kiefer ones which it seemed to say, I was just not watching closely enough. I was just really thinking while you were putting it. There was one about which had something and books, or did I just misread that? Possibly because my head was just exploding as I looked at your stuff. About halfway through the Kiefer, there was something about and books, and I just thought, really, did I just misread that? Or maybe I just misread that. What does anyone else think? Did I misread that? You had loads of things and linen and so and so. And then there was...
She did show a book, didn't she? There was a book.
Yeah, wasn't there? There was a book about Anselm Kiefer. He made it.
No, there was one of the paintings which was, I thought, but maybe this is what I wanted to check my own not seeing properly.
It's a large painting, I think, with books attached to the painting, because
that's what I thought. Yeah. I see it again because I was like, and books.
It is 38 pages of painting. The books are very heavy and big.
Could you find it to show it again? I would just be really interested.
I think what she means, Celia, is that the paintings that have the clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was also a painting with what looked like books on the painting.
Yeah, it was a cloth with ropes on the painting.
Yeah. Was there a painting with books stuck to the painting as well?
I think so.
Attached to the painting, yeah. They look like one.
Yeah, it is attached to the painting.
Yeah.
Can you re-find it? Unless that's not going to be a nightmare for you.
I can send you a link of that now. I am sending you a link. I find it here, but it is Antoni Tapies. If you write Anselm Kiefer, you can find it. All in there.
Okay.
Sheila, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you always start with an idea before you start working, or do you sometimes work and the ideas come to you as to what it's going to be about?
It depends. I'm making research all the time about space and now time. I am reading all the time, but with an idea, I think it is very difficult. I have plenty of ideas, but it's very difficult to get deeper. Afiyet olsun. Ondan sonra, sorry about that. How much? Just my boy is coming all the time. He's 4 years old. He's not so. So the idea is developed. Sometimes I am too tired to read books about research. So I am reading other stuff, some stories, some things psychologically more about me. So I find a way to express in painting both ideas, my research and how I feel about them. Because for me, scientists think is the main thing, but psychologically it means other things. For example, these paintings I began to make more like pixel, small. You can see, I don't know, you can see.
Yes, you can see this.
More rectangular.
Lovely.
And after it began more clear. But the problem is, I was thinking like fractals or pixels to make it. But what I live is death of my father.
Oh, right.
He died last year, so I was so sad about the things all around me, and just I feel like I have plenty parts were separate from me. So what I expressed in painting is that.
Right. And have you looked at Jackson Pollock's work? Because he was very much the fractal was very much, they studied his paintings and they saw it was all fractal, related to fractals.
Yes, yes, I looked at, and he was capturing the moments like photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was big machine robots to do that.
Yeah. Yes. And listen to jazz. And listen to jazz when he was doing it sometimes. Music.
Music, yes.
Yeah.
Music is very important, I think.
Yes, I agree.
In modern art.
Yeah. Thank you, Sila. It was wonderful seeing your work and your presentation.
Thank you too. Thanks to you. So we will see in 20 minutes.
Yeah, whatever you know, I'll just leave the video up. You seem like you're all chatting away and it's great. So yeah, just feel free what you want to do, and then Tina will.
It's the painting that
which is
Anselm Kiefer. Yeah.
Which, what's its name, Melissa, please?
That's the one with the books. With the books on, yeah.
What's the title, please? I've just been looking and failing to find it online. You're very clever.
Yeah.
I will send you on Slack, Carol.
Yeah.
Could you look at on Slack?
Thank you. Yeah. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Or put it in the chat.
I will put it now on the chat.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, welcome.
I couldn't see that, Melissa. I could vaguely see the thing, but I can't. My vision is not so that I couldn't see the text that you were holding up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a bit back to front as well, but I take screenshots sometimes when I'm doing them.
Yeah, no,
because I can't remember what people have said, and then I'll write it down. I can't remember what I've written, so I have to take screenshots to look again sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
I realized the name. Carol is on the chat.
That's the book. That's the actual book.
Yeah.
But that's not the painting you found, Melissa, isn't it?
Yeah.
The painting with the books on it. I don't know. Perhaps that's a picture in the book. Then is it?
Maybe it is because, yeah.
It's called Ashen Bloom. It's oil, acrylic, emulsion, shellac, and books on canvas. So it's actually a canvas.
Thank you. Ashen Bloomin, yeah? Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's it. Can I ask you, Sila, what the material, when you buy it, is it in a roll and a tube? The material.
I will show you the material.
Yeah. Thank you.
You mean for the rope?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested too. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa.
I'm using this ones. It's like that vessel.
Yeah, so that, because you were showing me yesterday, and what that's like, it's a plant material, isn't it?
It's a plant material, yeah, but it's called linen ropes.
Oh, linen.
It's not just tissue. Yeah, it's not just tissue, but it's without any fabric on it.
Yeah.
It's the organic forms of linen. And it smells very, very bad. I can tell you.
Yeah. I think I know what you mean now. Yeah. I remember you saying this today. And the other stuff, go on.
I put glue on them, and I work with gloves. And I made some shape on canvas or on boxes, and I left 1 or 2 days. Transparent glue after I paint. It's like a canvas. It's the same thing with canvas.
It's what they make canvas out of, and it's very, very rough, isn't it? Very rough. Because I used to work with hemp, and hemp is very rough, but they mix it with silk to make a beautiful material. What's the white one you have as well? The other.
This is cotton one. I use it. On my paintings as well.
This I make clothes with that.
Yeah,
I make clothes with it. Yeah, and scarves and stuff. And it's very difficult for me to find the beautiful, delicate pieces like that. It's really delicate. It's lovely material.
I want from internet. I order from internet. Yeah. There is no sale.
Yeah. You'll have to give me the link if you can, or tell me the name so I can buy some. Because
okay.
I
will send you the link.
I don't have to. But, yeah, like this. I make like this.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and with lots of neon materials, but also scarves. Yes, nice. Lovely material to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I worked fashion design in France when I was high school. So that's why I'm using these things. I am more familiar with these things.
Yeah. Oh, lovely.
Thank you.
I like the really big paintings that you've done as well, the really big of the nebula. They're amazing. Like there's a lot of red on it. A lot of red.
Orion Nebula.
Yeah.
He's changed now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's dying.
Is it no good? Is it what's happened? It's gone different colour, or do you not like it? Or
no, it's become like archive. He born and he dies. I think too many things you can separate from them. Some must die to born again. So both of them is good thing, and when we die it's a good thing too, because we can make life better with newborn children or born not sure how you call it, existence, I can say.
That's an interesting way to look at stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
If we didn't die, we would. There's no space for everybody, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Just to be really bright.
Our particle is separated to universe when we are dying.
Did you see I put a thing there, Carol, about a big painting that I've put outside in the rain?
Yeah.
I'll have to share some pictures later. It's a really big painting of moons that I've done with found paint. And I've just left it outside to keep changing and extend my work to be outside in the garden, really. So
one of my good friends, Shahina Jaffa, she's a weather artist, and so you can see on her stuff, she manages to get the raindrops on there. She's using pigments, and so it's a way of, you can see. I don't know how she does it exactly, if you see what I mean, but anyway, I do know that it's pigments and it's rain, and actually you can.
And you can what? Sorry.
See the rain.
Yeah. I've got a few bits where I use rain, and because I go and paint outside a lot because the house is very tiny, and we've just got everything in the back of the car, and we'll go out into the wilds of Cornwall and paint, and then use a bit of the weather in there to just, because otherwise I've got nowhere to paint, So I'd like, if you could give me a name, I'd like to look at her work. That would be.
Her name is Shahina, Shahina. Her family name is spelled Jaffer.
I'm really sorry. Can you just say that again?
S for sugar, H for Harry, A for aardvark, another H for Harry, I for India, N for November, A for aardvark, and her family name is J for, I can't think of a word in J.
Jupiter.
Thank you. A for apple, F for Freddie, F for Freddie, E for elephant, R for raspberry.
Fantastic. You're a star. Thank you.
No. I'm happy to share her work. I mean, I'll share that, like, hey, go and look.
Thank you.
Especially when you go up close, you can really see the raindrops on it. She doesn't leave it. Sometimes she leaves it out there to just basically wash, if you see what I mean. I don't mean not dirty, but you know what I'm talking about. But sometimes she just basically gets a little bit of rain, a bit of drizzle, if you see what I mean.
That sounds, this piece I've done is like really thick household paint.
Yeah.
So it started to crack and then move away. And then you've got like little bits of creatures making it their home. Do you know what I mean? In a way. So I don't want to embed them in the resin, but I want to just do a coat of resin on it at one point, and then take it further and then see where it goes from that, and leave it to dry in the garden, so it'll get an input from the garden in another way then.
I agree. I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
I found the name of the Kiefer is actually Black Flakes, or Schwarze Flocken.
Black Flakes.
Black Flakes. Thank you.
I thought there were loads of books, and actually there's not loads of books, but even so, it's books. Or possibly
Melissa,
flattened out.
A friend of mine back in London used to do garden stuff that I could just see you loving. She would put out like graphite and things, like a loose pigment, and then leave it out for the snails to go through.
Yeah.
And it created amazing patterns.
Yeah.
I could totally see you doing that. And you're
I don't know if who is that? That rings a bell.
Her name is Jenny Wiggins, Wiggins. I don't know what she's doing now. I haven't really seen her in years, but she did stuff with plants. She put seeds on paper and let the plants draw. And then she did things with bees as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did very cool stuff. And she did all that in her, she had quite a big garden. So she did all of it in her home garden.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's a part of my brain thinking she did something with ants as well, but I think I'm mixing up with someone else.
She's got a website. I'm just looking at it.
Yeah.
I saw some really lovely. Oh yeah, there's some bee commemoration, and I'm just looking. There's a whole load of stuff on it. Yeah, there's definitely looks like snail maps. There's a whole snail maps thing going on here.
Yeah, I really need to get in touch with her again. Actually, haven't seen her in years.
Like a performance piece involving snails in central London, just up near me, and that was some like big edible snails, the big Roman snails, not the little ones you get in your garden. And the whole thing was so gorgeous. They actually had like little lights on them, so you could see them walking around with their little eyeballs hanging out. I don't mean hanging out, they're not hanging out, they're sort of like poking out, if you sort of. It was really gorgeous. And I managed to persuade the owners of the snails to let me have the snails walk over me, because I think I need to be participating in a real way here. Let's cuddle up with some snails. It was lovely. They said, no, you're not supposed to do that, but how can we stop you? Put your hand out. And I'm like, oh, you obviously couldn't.
I've stuck Jenny's website in the chat for you, Melissa.
The snail maps are great. I'm just looking. Thank you for alerting me to the snail maps.
Can I ask a random question? So I really, really enjoy reading, and glass, geology, geomorphology, all these things. But do you have any books that you could recommend that have sort of informed your practice that I can read? Do you have any books you could recommend at all that you've enjoyed reading?
Who are you asking? Anybody?
Anyone, yeah.
I've been reading. I'll have to find the book. It's called one's called A Buzz in the Meadow, and the other one's I don't know. I'll have to find the book because I can't remember. But it's I'll just have a look.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
I've got one. It's not here at the studio. It must be at home. Called Art and Science.
Yes, I've read that. Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
That one's really good, and sometimes it's nice to reread.
Yeah, absolutely, and dip into it.
I'm trying to think.
Cara, do you have any books you could recommend at all? Or
with my eyes was so bad that I've only after my operation I've been able to read a book for the first time for many years, in the last 2 months. But so don't ask me about books so much. If you see what I mean. Although I've got loads of books. And no, I'm not a big book reader since my vision's been too bad to do that. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Just thinking, I have something here I need to read. Where is it?
There is a book that I've just finished called The Book of Pebbles.
The Book of Pebbles?
Yes, by Christopher Stotts and Angie Lewin.
Oh, yes.
Right. It's really very nice. Very simple.
Oh,
very nice.
I've heard of that too. Yeah, I think it's on my little wish list. I'm going to be rereading this, which isn't terribly exciting. It's Geological Field Techniques.
Oh, yes.
But I'm going to reread it because I was chatting to some geologists about possibly working together, and obviously in geology we draw in quite a particular way, and as an artist I draw in a different particular way, and I sort of wanted to review this because I've done it a bit when I was studying, and then rarely thought of it again. So
Yeah. Where did you study geology?
Open University.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
I love Open University.
It's great, isn't it?
Have you done OU?
No, I studied geology in Edinburgh, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh,
But
nice.
a lot of friends have done Open University, and
yeah,
they're so passionate about the subject that they do. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I did I think the last year they did the field work in the summer school. So it is lacking field work. I completely get that. I studied with a lot of people who went on, they transferred so that they could get the field work. But I was just doing it out of interest. So it wasn't as vital for me to be sort of getting that hands-on stuff.
So have you had the chance to do geological mapping?
We did a bit of it, but I didn't really take it up very much. And I want to practice that again. I feel like it's a skill I've lost. Because when we did it, I was good at it and I enjoyed it. But yeah, a lot of the stuff I've studied because I've done it for my own enjoyment. As soon as I pass,
Yeah.
I sort of walk away and only remember the information I need. So friends laugh at me because we'll be walking along a beach and they'll go, "Tina, what's that?" And I'll go, "It's a rock."
And another rock.
Well, that's what most geologists say, I think.
It's true. It's very true.
Until they break it open, they don't know.
That's it. There's a big rock and a little rock.
Yeah, that's it. It depends sometimes if it's a brain fog day or not. So if it's a brain fog day, I just go, I don't even know where I am,
I know. The socks are in the fridge.
I went kayaking around an island in Baja California, and there was there's an oil geologist there. And so we were supposed to be tent mates. I didn't go in the tent. I helped her put the tent up. I obviously slept out under the stars. But anyway, the point was the reason I'm saying it is because she knew everything. We go past a little, she wasn't saying that's a rock. She'd say, explain how it got there. It was really amazing. I was so like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm with you. I don't mind putting up your tent as many times as you like. So
it's an exchange, isn't it?
So that was very good. It was an unfair exchange because I got loads more out of it. All she got was her tent put up. So every day she got a tent put
to be fair, if she's like me, she probably enjoyed it so much being able to
her job. It's her
really
job.
Be passionate,
So she was like, this means that, and this means that, or this means, you know what I mean? She knew how that got there.
Yeah, I'm in a board game club. I'm in a gaming club, and a couple of weeks ago, someone made the mistake of asking me about the drilling on Mars, and about 20 minutes later, I apologized. So I'll buy you a drink. I'm really sorry.
How is it apologizing to share knowledge? That's not an apologizing.
I think it was because I just went off on my rant of joy.
That's lovely to see, a rant of joy, even if you don't care, even if it's just doing that as it goes through your head, you can get